What's your experience with the exits throughout the years? Did you have more of a management buyouts or merger and acquisitions, or what was that like?
Well, for me, an exit is a sale, or basically I'm getting out for money. Yeah, that's how I would define my exit. And my exits were almost all, well, actually I had 3, so it's not too many, but all my exits were to strategic buyers.
Okay, so who are those strategic buyers then? How would you define that?
I'd say you have, it's like with a parent. Yeah? You want to be a parent, but you don't want to have the hassle of the little kids. So basically you ideally buy out a kid when the kid is 3 or 5. Yeah?
Okay.
You don't want to change the nappies, yeah, and feed the baby. So, but you would want to become a parent because you see some value in having the kid. So I think those strategic investors wanted to buy my kit when it was taken from the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm basically a pre-seed, I'm seed, I like to create things. When it starts to be big, I basically start to be disinterested. So, and I'm not a manager, so I don't want to manage companies. So when it starts to be business as usual, without much growth opportunities, I basically lose patience. So that's where I'm looking, and I was never looking for an exit. It always came kind of on its own. And this is my message that we always build company for profit, to make money. I just don't understand people that want to build companies for exit.
And that's an interesting point, because I want to hear more about this specific point. Because I might have a different opinion, but I have never sold a company, so it's not valid. Yeah, maybe what are some reasons that someone would buy your company? Like, what are the major reasons somebody would actually buy you out?
Well, it's almost always, I think, is they want to buy you because you have something they don't have. And it would take them a long time or much more money to develop, mainly more time to get where you are now. With their own resources. So that's, I would say, the general purpose of somebody acquiring your business. Yeah.
So that can be anything from technology to your customer base to your revenue, anything. So you can't really define that. It's impossible almost, right?
Anything. You even find companies that actually have to grow. Yeah. So they're just looking to buy your revenues almost. Yeah. It's basically piling up into a business because their shareholders want them to deliver an X percentage of growth per annum. Yeah? So they basically have to go out and buy companies. Not even looking for what the specifics are that create the value of the company.
This is what I wanted to ask you when you mentioned that you had those exits, but it wasn't really planned from the beginning, right? It kind of happened along the way. Of course, there's some planning, and it takes a couple of months or years to sell a company, but...
Well, there is a difference between an entrepreneur and an investor. If I go into a company with an investment, I always want to have an exit strategy. At least know where that company could go, and who could be interested. I'm an investor. I want to get out.
So as an entrepreneur, do you also share that perspective, or only as an investor?
I would say that in an entrepreneur, I'm looking for a much longer term vision for the company. It's basically, I'm trying to build a train. Yeah? We are setting the rails, and I want to get the train as far as possible. That's my ideal scenario with a founder, because when I believe that when you basically, as a founder, have a clear exit strategy, it's like politician. Society would develop if we would have much longer term goals. But the problem is the political cycle and basically 4-year vision of a politician. And the basic, I would say, want or incentive to be re-elected ideally. So you don't do much. For a long-term perspective, you build a castle basically. It's about the values of the company. They're quite important, I think, from a long-term perspective. It's not about getting a customer on Monday, selling on Wednesday, and basically cashing in on Friday. It's about, do I have the people that will carry on the business? Are they motivated? Do they connect to the company? Because only a connected employee can sell. So if I'm not a believer into the company or in the product of the company, how can I sell the product?
Mm-hmm.